Ni hao. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to talk to you about batteries, lithium-ion batteries. I'm sure everyone here has this kind of device, and it has a lithium-ion battery inside, okay? And this has been there since the early 90s, when the cell phones started and other mobile devices. And now we see electric vehicles and other devices using this battery, and they will contribute greatly to the climate change, maybe energy transition in the future. Okay, so yeah, so first I would like to introduce lithium-ion batteries for those who may not be familiar with this technology. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Which, the red one? Yeah, this one. The red. Okay. Sorry, I was pressing the wrong one. Okay, so lithium-ion batteries has mainly three active components. The anode, which is the negative pole of the battery, the cathode, which is the positive pole of the battery, and in between there is a separator, which is wet with a liquid electrolyte. So basically, a battery, when it is produced for the first time in a plant, all the lithium, active lithium, is in the cathode, the lithium metal oxide or lithium iron phosphate cathode material, which is the positive pole. And during the charge, basically, lithium will be transferred between the cathode to the anode, as you can see on the right side picture. And by doing this, we are delithiating the cathode and lithiating the anode. So by delithiating the cathode, we are oxidizing the system, okay? So the voltage or the potential, electric potential of the cathode is increasing, and by putting lithium inside the anode, the voltage is decreasing. So the overall voltage is increasing as we charge the battery. So basically, most of the batteries that have lithium metal oxide, the initial voltage is around 3.2, 3.5 volt. At the end of charge, we are at 4.2 volt. That's to give you the range. So the opposite reaction or reverse reaction takes place during the discharge, where the lithium ions are transferred from the anode, the graphite, to the carbon anode, and through the electrolyte, and then are incorporated again in the cathode. And so the voltage is decreasing, all right? So batteries come in different form factors. These are the most popular ones. One is the cylindrical cell that has been used for many decades and now still used in several applications, including in electric vehicles and laptop computers, and also for energy storage systems. And the other one is the pouch cells, which is a prismatic cell. And the same structure is there. We have terminals, plus and minus terminals. And there is a sandwich structure where we have the anode foil, separator, the cathode, and the cell casing, which is hermetically close the battery, because we don't want to have anything leaking out from the battery, and we don't want to have any air, oxygen particularly, or water, moisture going inside the battery. Okay, so every time you charge your battery, this is what happens on the anode side. So lithium here is coming from the bottom of the picture and diffusing up to the anode, the graphite, and you see the changes in the colors of the graphite anode here as a result of the lithium intercalation between the graphene layers, okay? And then during the discharge, we have the opposite reaction, where we recover the black color of the graphite. The golden color you have seen is actually correspond to the largest composition of lithium into the carbon, which is 1 lithium every 6 carbon. Okay, so applications. Since the inception of lithium-ion batteries in the early 90s, we have seen huge developments of the applications of the market. And in this graph, you have on the x-axis the energy that is used in a battery system, and in the y-axis, you have the power, or the time, the reverse of the time of the utilization. So from small mobile electronics like cell phones and laptop computers and tablets, and we have increased the energy to maybe encompass mobile systems like e-bikes, e-scooters. As we increase in energy and power, we have electric vehicles, buses, trains, and now the other very big application of lithium-ion batteries is the energy storage systems, coupled with the clean energy like solar, photovoltaics, and wind energy. And also for communities, houses, and plants, and so on. So this is for the overall application of lithium-ion batteries. All right, so this gives us a little bit the trends of the market since 2000 to 2030. You see there is an exponential increase in the production and the business of lithium-ion batteries is expressed in megawatt hours here, and you have the different applications from electronics, auto, by the way, China in both the electric buses and other mobile electronics and other electric mobility systems is the leading country in the world, accounting for over 60% of the lithium-ion battery production. So in 2021, there was a production of around 430 gigawatt hours of lithium-ion batteries, and in 2030 it is expected that it will be over 2.4 terawatt hours produced worldwide. Even these numbers are actually revised every year, and we are close now actually to 3 terawatt hours in 2030, because the need of lithium-ion batteries is growing exponentially, as I said. Okay, still there are many challenges, and this is where actually research, R&D are very important for the future of lithium-ion batteries. So among the challenges, number one is safety. Of course, we need to have batteries that doesn't undergo any or less thermal runaways. They're very important. The other is the charging time. This is very important, especially for electric cars, electric systems. And also the other one is the short driving range. We have to actually compete with the existing internal combustion cars that give you between maybe 500 to 900 kilometers per full range for a full tank of gasoline. And also the life of the battery should be at least 10 years. This what will make the transition from internal combustion cars to EV, electric vehicles, a success. So safety, number one. This is a picture, we don't want to see it, of course. It happens, unfortunately, very often. And if you Google or you go to Baidu and you put a lithium-ion battery fire explosion, you will have many, many hits. And that happens because in the battery you have a large amount of energy. This is stored in very small volumes, so the energy density is very high. And as long as we are using battery in normal condition, there is no risk. But sometimes batteries, for different reasons, either quality of the battery or the charging system or even misuse of the batteries, they catch fire. So our approach, actually, number one is what makes a battery catch a fire. And the main reason that has been recognized is the occurrence of an internal short circuit between the anode and the cathode. And that short circuit can happen either because some of the conductive materials are moving from the anode and cathode and make a bridge between anode and cathode, electrical bridge, or what we call the plating, metal plating on the anode side, like lithium metal can be plated, and also the separator can break and then makes a contact surface between the anode and the cathode, and that will be the trigger of the thermal runaway. So how we have approached this system? Actually, we use entropy, and entropy teaches us a lot about the state of the battery, state of charge, state of health, and also here state of safety. So in this diagram, what I've showed is we have created artificial internal shorts into a battery, and we looked at the entropy at specific voltages, like between 3.996 volt on the right and left hand to 3.7 volt for this specific battery. And the solid line, which is in pink color, shows the entropy versus enthalpy of the battery system, and we have the data and the solid curve that correspond to a battery that has no internal shorts. And then the batteries that have an internal short, you can see that the value of the entropy is very, it's no more close to the ideal curve. There is a diversion from the ideal curve. So basically what we propose here as a solution is that for each different batteries, we know which voltage is the most critical for at which we can see a difference in entropy data of the battery according to the specific states of charge or voltage. All right. So this method is very strong, and it's very easy to implement. And I will show you that actually we have been using artificial intelligence to detect the internal short circuits in a battery. Today, there is no rock science on how to determine, how to predict or to assess if there is any internal short circuit in a battery. Okay. So here, this is what I just said, because we collect a lot of data on the battery during operation. And from this, if we measure voltage and temperature, we can convert this data to thermodynamics and especially entropy and enthalpy. And then from this data, we process them and determine the critical voltages for each cell and analyze the entropy and enthalpy data versus the normal states of the battery that has no internal short circuits. And then after that, we have a system that can trigger an alert or an alarm to say that within a battery pack that has thousands of cells, which cell has a problem. Okay, so this system will detect actually the abnormal cell within a battery pack. Second limitation of lithium batteries is the ultra-fast charging. And the chargers that we see today in the market are mostly based on what we call constant current. We apply a constant current to the battery during the charge. And this constant current is followed either by a constant voltage, or we apply a series of the decreasing constant currents. Okay, so by doing this, unfortunately, we are not able to charge a battery in less than 60, fully charged from 0 to 100%, whatever the type of charger, from 0 to 100% in less than 1 hour, basically. Okay, so if you have an electric car, you don't want to wait 1 hour for fully charging, so you need a fast charger. So this is where the NLV, nonlinear voltametry, comes, and we have developed it now for almost 10 years, and we are confident that this NLV will be the technology for the future for battery charging, whatever the application. So basically, as you see here, this is a schematics to show the voltage profile in red color and the current profile during the NLV process. So there are parameters. One of the parameters is when we go from one voltage plateau to the next voltage plateau. We apply a delta V. This is a voltage step. The other is actually the how long are we going to apply that step, and also the current limit that enables us to go from one step to the other, and also the rest time. So we are applying a rest time of few seconds, and believe me, this rest time is very critical for the battery because during that process, the battery is cooling down. All right, so we applied NLV to different types of batteries. Believe me, I tested at least 50 batteries made by at least 50 companies worldwide in China, in Korea, in Japan, in the US, and in Europe. And so one of them, just to show you an illustration, is the battery called the T30, which is made by Samsung. And this battery is very popular in power tools, like drills and other power tools. If you look at the 30T cell, the PDF data sheet from Samsung, they recommend a charge in 120 minutes, 2 hours. We did it in 10 minutes. So we are 12x faster. And the interesting thing is you look at the right-hand slide picture, the temperature during the 10-minute charging did not exceed 50 degrees. And Samsung put 60 degrees as the safety limit. So we are 10 degrees below the safety limits of this battery. We have also broken a world record for this is for an e-cigarette, electronic cigarette system. We have a collaboration with a company in Switzerland, and they ask us to see whether the batteries can be charged in below 10 minutes, and we did it in 6 minutes. So this is the world record of any charging time for a lithium-ion battery. This battery is using LFP, which is lithium iron phosphate cathode, which is very fast. And we were able to charge it fully charged from 0 to 100% in 6 minutes without exceeding 50 degrees C. The other thing is the cycle life. So we see here the profile, the voltage profile during the charging of a battery from 0 initial states to about 350 cycles, and the profile didn't change much. So it means that fast charging doesn't degrade the battery that fast. So we can expect a long life of the battery using this NLV. Energy augmentation. This is interesting. I think if you recall the slide, the video I showed you for the graphite anode, all the color was not golden color in the picture at the end of charging. It means that there are still some graphite that is not used during the charge, okay? So NLV enable us actually to increase the energy density of a battery without changing the chemistry, only by changing the way we are charging the battery. So if we use CCCV, this battery, for instance, had 36 ampere hours. This is a battery designed for electric vehicles. But when we applied NLV with different conditions, like the voltage, the end of voltage, and so on, we were able to increase the energy from 36 to 45 ampere hours of the cell. So we increased it by 25%. Very, very impressive. However, I have to confess that at 25%, the battery started actually to degrade. So I think at least we can increase the current energy density of batteries by 10% only by moving from constant current-based charging method to NLV. Life extension, this is very simple. I put my own system to... Sorry, to remind me for 20 minutes. Okay, so what are the opportunities here? Let me go fast. So we are actually in the process of developing a chip that can be incorporated or implemented inside each cell during the production process. This chip will be doing two things. One is using the thermodynamic to assess the state of charge, state of health, and state of safety. And the second chip is, it's the same chip that has two functions to implement the fast charging. So we have this chip. Now we have a prototype that is already working, but we bought it from a company in the United States, and we want to actually develop and produce our own chip for NLV. And the other thing is very important is the Internet of Things. Actually, when you connect a charger to a battery system for charging, I think the charger has to know few information about the battery, especially the state of health, how many miles the battery has already run, and also what is the initial state of charge, and what is the final state of charge, and what is the time that you have available for charging. So this will be actually a communication between a charger and a battery, and this has not existed yet. Today, when you go to charge your battery with your electric vehicles, it's only one-way communication. Charger is charging the battery. So there is no communication between, and there is, of course, a battery management system inside the battery, the car, that actually, if there is any abnormal conditions like high temperature or something, it will stop. But there is no communication between the charger and the battery. So we would like actually to establish a protocol of communication between a battery charger and the battery pack. Okay, so this just to show you briefly the amount of big data that we collect when we do an NLV test. A lot of columns. And just for me to relax a little bit, I said, hey, how about if I plot randomly some columns versus other columns, okay? So this is where I found the batteries can make art. This is this picture coming from a test of NLV in a battery. This is another one. This is another one. So I'm having a lot of fun doing this. You see many things, and I have more than 100 pictures like this, and there's a project actually to make an art expo saying batteries make art. Okay, this is another one, and the last one. Okay, with this, I would like to thank you very much for your attention.